All right. Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Sylvester. I'm a technical lead software engineering at Cisco.
I'm Travis Sugarbaker, a principal product management engineer at Cisco and our AI software and platform group. One of my primary responsibilities is really to look after our builders, both internally and going forward, the third parties that we work with, customers and partners. So I'm really excited about what we have here today with App Builder. So thank you all for joining us. Patrick?
Thanks, Travis. And my name's Patrick Hundle. I'm an AI deployment engineer with OpenAI. And my focus is on large enterprise and strategic customers like Cisco, where I help architect and deploy new applications, such as App Builder, which Sylvester's going to tell you about today.
All right. Give me 1 second. Let me get back. All right. Just to give some background, so Cisco Cloud Control is Cisco's new unified platform that integrates all Cisco products under one roof. So imagine you can, access different products, visualize what you need, and take any actions for all your Cisco products from Cloud Control itself. Now, App Builder takes that to a next step where you can build your custom application within Cisco Cloud Control that interacts with all your Cisco products. So instead of building an application from a technical stack perspective, all you have to do is ask App Builder what you wanted to do, what you wanted to build, and it will take care of all the UI components, building the application, configuration, governance, and setup that is required to interact with any of your Cisco products from Cloud Control itself. So you can imagine users building multiple apps based on their needs. For example, a Meraki camera installation app, or it could also be a 1000i triage dashboard if they would like to build, or even Catalyst Center, for site readiness and health as needed. And the flow would be you build an app, you see it in preview, you reiterate on it, make some changes, and once you're ready, you publish that app so others in your team and organization can access that app. So it's as simple as that. All right, so let's jump into the App Builder and how it looks like. Right, as you can see, App Builder itself is an app within Cloud Control. So all I have to do is click an app. Here, I have some of the apps that I've built in the past. For this session purposes, we're going to create a new app, so let's do that.
So Sylvester, just to interrupt you for a minute, you didn't have to go out to a separate console, a separate dashboard, a separate product, or log in separately. This is all self-contained within Cisco Cloud Control, is that right?
That's correct. You have this one panel, one dashboard where it unifies all your products, so you don't have to jump across different dashboards like Meraki, Splunk, or any other products. You can do all from within Cisco Cloud Control.
What about logging in? Do I have to log in again to get to App Builder?
No, so Cloud Control takes care of unified identification, and then once you have logged into Cisco Cloud Control, you are basically logged into all your products which are integrated with Cloud Control already.
Amazing, thank you.
Awesome. So here you can see, this is the view. On the left side is where you talk to App Builder, you give it a prompt of what you need, and does it work. On the left side, you see is the preview section. So as soon as it builds something, it hosts that application and makes it ready for you to review. So you can interact with the app and make more changes based on your requirements. All right, so let's see it in action. Again, give me 1 second. All right, so for this demo, I'm going to ask App Builder to build a simple Meraki camera installation app, which basically just gives me the view for my Meraki organization and network, and gives me some details. And then let's see how that goes. And also, just to set some expectation, for the demo purposes, we're going to keep it very simple app that kind of gives us the end product. Of course, sky is the limit based on what you want to build and how many iterations you want to do. The purpose of App Builder is to show you how easy it is to take an idea and implement it on Cloud Control. All right, so let's go ahead and hit that prompt.
So you've just provided a natural language, a plain language version of what you want to build, and App Builder is going off and building that. Is that right?
Yes, and Patrick will be giving more details on how it's doing and what it's doing under the hood.
Yeah, this is actually kind of really cool. If you've ever used any kind of agentic coding tools, what you're seeing on the left-hand side here is going to look very familiar. And really what's happening behind the scenes is we've taken that request, put it into the Codex harness, and Codex is really acting like a personalized software engineer and developing code behind the scenes. So this is not just pre-conditioned components that we're bringing together. It's actually writing code. It's following instructions given to it in MD files. It's looking at MCP connectors, determining where the APIs are, what the API rules and guidelines are, and putting the plumbing together to build that app, including building the UI. So it's a full stack application. And this is really kind of where it becomes powerful. Right, Codex handles the software engineering, while Cisco says this is the environment, these are the tools you have available, and this is what you can do in that environment, that governance, if you like. So they can define the approved APIs, the app structure, deployment controls before an app becomes available to users. I think the other, just trying to bring up my notes here. The other thing that's interesting here is that you can see the work occurring as it happens, and what's interesting here is that Cisco can now apply governance to the actions that are occurring, effectively guardrails for what these the applications builders are doing behind the scenes. And that transparency makes it much easier to govern. So I would also note, this is actually happening live right now. And it takes a little while to build an app. And while speed's kind of important in building apps, more important is safety. And what's happening behind the scenes here, of course, are the checks and balances to ensure that it generates safe code within the operating model.
I see now that it says it's publishing our app for previewing. What does that mean, Sylvester?
All right, so yeah, so again, this is not a local prototype. It's not a local app running. So once an app is built and it's ready to be ready to be built, what it's doing is basically hosting the app in a cloud control environment, and then you can literally preview that app over here. So, and every time you do that, it reiterates to the same workflow. You make a change, it builds the app, and then hosts it again for you to review and interact with the app. So, and this is where the core value of App Builder comes in. The user stays in the natural language and the natural workflow, and App Builder takes care of doing all the rest of the work, whether it's building an app, using the Codex agent, hosting it, getting it ready for preview, and once you think the app is in a good state, you can publish it as well, which will be following next.
And so what we see up here, this dashboard that just appeared, this was built completely from your prompt that you gave it. You didn't pre-build this. You didn't pre-construct this. It wasn't on the back end and just brought up, right?
No. So as the prompt said, what it does under the hood is Cloud Control has access to Meraki. So what I asked it to do is, hey, look at my Meraki account, pull the organization I have, put the network that I have, and all the cameras that I have in my organization. So it pulled all that data live, and then it's just showing you what we have in there. So as you can see in the app, again, it's a first take. It took about 2 minutes for it to build the app, another 10, 20 seconds for it to be published. But it did what I wanted it to do, where I can see my organization, my network, and I see one camera that is currently connected to the network. And then, it's data usage that it's pulling from, directly from Meraki. And again, this is a very simple app, but we want to, and it's not only about, visualization. I can also update this app to, take any actions. So let's try doing that. Now that, since that app is in this state, let's add another prompt to support adding and removing cameras to network. Sorry about that. All right.
Very cool. Awesome. I think at this point, it's also worth noting that this agentic development starts to feel like a little different than like low-code environments typically are. You're really not, again, limited to those constructs that are predefined for you. So what's happening here that Sylvester's showing is that it's going back, reviewing the code that has already been written, that you maybe, at this point have iterated over several times and kind of tweaked it and got it to your version of perfection. And it's then saying, okay, can I fulfill these constraints within the constraints of the existing application? And so again, it just starts to extend that, if you like, personal touch that you're bringing to your control and management of your network. And I think it's also worth noting that, again, all of this context is happening within the cloud control container. And in that respect, when updates occur, you can simply, again, request that those updates be consumed by your application. It will then update those APIs and libraries, and you will have this new compliant version of the application available.
What about how do I tell it how to interact with Cloud Control, how to interact with Meraki? Is that something I have to teach it and instruct it, or does it automatically know that?
Awesome, that's a great question, and I'm going to build up on what Patrick said. Imagine App Builder or Codex as your software developer, which is building the app for you, but also think of it adding a software developer with the domain knowledge of Cisco Cloud Control SDKs that it requires to build an app within Cloud Control, and also interacting with these different products, whether it's APIs or any different means. So your app builder agent has all that context to make that connection and do what is needed based on your request.
Do I have to give it API keys? Does the user have to, copy and paste things to make the connections work back and forth?
Not at all. So once you're logged into Cloud Control, it uses token exchange for your products. So it goes through the Cisco governance and authorization for you to be able to do that. So you don't have to put your API keys anywhere in the vault or worry about it. Cloud Control takes care of it for you.
I think the plus one to this concept is that the engineer also is bound by the constraints you've given it. And so what's nice is that it'll always operate within those constraints and governance. How does it look?
All right, okay, sorry. All right, so I don't know if folks missed it, how I was able to remove my device from my network. I know the visualization doesn't look perfect, and again, that's like the whole point where if something does not fit right, you can always go ahead and make iterations and make it better. But it does support the basic functionality. So based on the iteration I added to support removing and adding cameras to the network, it did create remove from selected network button for me. And if I click it, it kind of performs that operation and removes that camera from the network. I can quickly go over another app that we built, which is like kind of similar, which kind of gave a better UI presentation.
It's
just
probably,
to kind of give
probably
more
worth
context.
Noting at this point that we are doing this with basic TypeScript, HTML, JavaScript, mainly because this is still early in its stage of development as an app. There is plans, though, to support other frameworks and make more robust UIs and more elements. Yeah.
So again, this is in like pre-alpha stage, and we're like working towards making it more cohesive with Cloud Control so that it does more and more functionalities without user have to worry about this. But again, the concept we were trying to prove is like you do not have to know about agent, Cloud Control, or the domain knowledge to make apps for any of your Cisco products. All you need is a use case, and you can build something within 5 to 10 minutes as in POC and share it with your team or your organization, and iteratively make it better and improve it over a period of time without any of those domain knowledge. And Cloud Control also takes care of hosting that app for you, and so you don't have to worry about deployment and all those aspects as well.
You talked a little bit about sharing. Can you tell us a little bit more about how I would share this with other people within my organization or beyond?
Perfect. So let's go back to the app that we're trying to build, though it's not like 100% where we want it to be, but let's assume it is. I can easily go, once I see it in a good state, I can go and publish this app by just clicking a single button. And what it does is it adds this app because I'm in this tenant. It adds this app to the marketplace where people can see all the apps, whether it's system-based, built by Cisco, or any custom apps that we have created. So let's jump into the marketplace and see this app. And as you can see, I have the Meraki camera console app we just created in the marketplace. Now I can go ahead and install this app, since I'm the app owner and the tenant owner. And now I can have this app in my app section as well. So imagine in your organization or your teams, you can publish this app and anybody can access it. So whether it's a dashboard, whether it's a camera installation app, you do it once and share it with everyone so that they don't have to reinvent the wheel over and over again. All right, let's click on that. I will reload it just to, all right. So here is your app, fully cohesive with Cloud Control as a full featured app. And again, imagine a few weeks down the line, you get some feedback and you want to reiterate and add some more features to the app or make it better. You can go back to the app builder. The app stays in there. You can add another prompt or just continue with what you were doing, and it will build on top of it. So it's could be an ongoing process, and you can then publish the new version, which gets updated for other users as well. All right.
Yeah, so I think really what Cisco's showing here demonstrates really a compelling model for enterprise application creation, right? And Codex, in this case, provides that kind of agentic software capability, and it can translate intent into a working application and support rapid iteration, as Sylvester pointed out. And Cisco brings that context, that infrastructure, that governance, the distribution model, and together that allows enterprises to build highly tailored operational applications quickly without sacrificing any control.
Perfect.
Yeah, so thank you all for joining us. We're going to take Q&A up here after the session, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Hope you enjoyed seeing us build an app in 2.5, 3 minutes. And if we had a few more minutes, if we had 5 or 10 minutes, we could make it look even more exceptional. So thank you again for joining us. Happy to take questions.
Guys.